All right, boys and girls, today we're going to learn all about lines and we're going to make some caterpillars with them. So let's go over our lines first and then we'll get to turn them into caterpillars. Our first line is called a straight line. This line goes from side to side and it's perfectly straight. Can you draw one with me in the sky? Perfect. The next line we're going to practice is a wavy line. It goes up and down, just like waves in the ocean. Do you guys want to try this one with me? Woo, 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 woo. Perfect. The next line we're going to do and turn into caterpillars is a dotted line. It looks like dots on a road. They're broken in between. Boop, 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 boop. Another line we're going to try is a zigzag line. It goes up to a point and back down. It looks kind of like tops of the mountains. Boop, 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 boop. Another line we're going to add and make turn into a caterpillar is a curly line. Now this one can be a little challenging. It's going to go up and around almost like a circle, but it's going to keep going and going. We call this a curly line. You guys ready to practice with me? Woo, 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 woo. Perfect. Another one we're going to try is a bumpy line. This one has bumps like hills in the land. Here we go. Goes up and down like a curved line. And the last one we're going to do is a zipper. This one might be the most challenging one yet. It's going to go over and down, over and up, over and down, over and up. So we're going to try all of those lines today in our sketchbook, and we're going to make some caterpillars. So you're going to grab your supplies and get ready to draw. So the first thing you'll need is your sketchbook. We decorated the cover last time. And you're going to flip to a new page. Now, since this is a new page, I like to wrap my other one to the back, and I like to turn it tall like this so I can fit as many lines as I want. Now I'm going to go into my crayons, and I'm going to pick out 7 colors. And I like to go in order of the rainbow, so I'm going to pick my colors according to that. So I'm going to start with red, then orange, then yellow, then green, whoops, dropped one, then blue, and then I'm going to look for violet or purple, and then I'm going to look for pink. So there's all my colors that I'm going to use today. So here we go. Let's go with our lines. The first one is our straight line. So we're going to start at the very top of our sketchbook. And our lines are not going to go all the way to the edges. They're just going to go in between. And we're going to draw a straight line from side to side, side to side, side to side. Perfect. Look at that nice straight line. Now we got to turn it into a caterpillar. So the first thing we're going to add are some legs. Caterpillars have lots of legs. So I'm going to add some short lines up to down for his little legs. And of course he needs some eyeballs. So I'm going to add some little circles for his eyes. And then maybe some smaller ones so he looks really cute. And then some antennas. So I'm going to add some lines at the very top. All right, let's do our next caterpillar. We're going to use a wavy line this time. It's going to go up and down, up and down, up and down. And you notice I like to do it over and over to make my lines nice and thick. All right, what does he need now, boys and girls? He needs some legs, lots of legs, and he needs some eyes. And some antenna. Notice I make his antenna match his body. Now we're going to do yellow and do a dotted line. Boop, 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 Boop. Add some legs. This time I'm gonna put eyes over here. Eyes and antenna. That one might be hard to see because it's yellow. All right, here we go. Zigzag next. Bum, 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 bum. And I like to make it a little bit darker just so it shows up in my sketchbook. Let's give him some eyeballs, some antenna, and I almost forgot his legs. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, they're so cute. All right, next is the curly line. Now we're getting real hard. We're doing our curly line. So this one is like a circle, but it keeps growing and growing and growing. Also makes it sound like boing, 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 boing. I like to make sounds with my lines. Helps me remember them, and it's just fun. All right, let's add some eyes, some antenna, and some legs. Boop. All right, 2 more. Do you have enough room for 2 more? All right, next one is a bumpy line. These are curved lines that go up and down, up and down, up and down. Kind of like little rainbows. That's what they remind me of, rainbows. Okay, let's add some eyes. And some legs. So cute. And our last one. If you don't want to use pink, you can use black or another color. This one is the zipper. So we go over and down, over and up, over and down, over and up, over and down, and I stop with over. And I'll darken them up a little bit, make them nice and dark. And then I add all of my details. So eyes, and of course, legs. Ta-da! Wasn't that fun? Now I have all of my line caterpillars. They're having a good old time. They're hanging out together. And I got to practice my lines. All right, boys and girls, see you later.